Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and today we are back with 2-6 and Paradise again. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hi.
It's good to have you guys back because we're rounding out the weapon previews now. They have now come to a close and we're wrapping up with Dual Blades and Light Bowgun. Just two today, but they do still have some kind of cool moves. I mean, again, like I said, everything's a little bit anticlimactic after seeing Longsword from yesterday, but anyway, they are still kind of cool. So we're going to discuss them today. Let us know in the comments down below if these are your weapons. Let us know what you guys think of these new additions. And of course, don't forget to keep it locked for plenty more Sunbreak stuff. But I think we should start with the Dual Blades. To be honest, what do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
Yeah, cool. So, Dual Blades, definitely looking kind of cool this time around, but there's an interesting thing. We'll discuss it obviously when we get onto the switch skill side of things, because there's one move that is quite similar to something we already have. However, let's start off with kind of like a move that is a throwback to something we had in Generations Ultimate anyway, albeit a little bit different, but we have Spiral Slash, which is basically this game's version of Gurren Lagann, like drill thrust basically. You pull yourself towards the monster, and when you connect, you basically drill your blades and bore into the target's flesh. And they said you could also perform this from midair. So you basically have this sort of like vertical style launcher that pulls you a decent distance at a diagonal path, and you then just spin into the monster. It does quite a few hits, so of course, you know, as is often the way for things like dual blades and stuff, I would expect this to be like really good for status, elemental damage and stuff, but also given the kind of angular nature, it's probably also going to be quite good for hitting like higher parts, so monsters that have like heads higher up, maybe tails if you can be precise, but just the animation for it does actually look super cool. Like, what do you guys think about this one?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's like probably the second best looking move that they've added in the Silkbinds, because like the longsword count is probably like the best, but this one with the drill and the Gurren Lagann look is very good. I like it. From a damage perspective and its utility. I don't know what's really going on, but I really like the animation, so I'm probably gonna just use the dual blades in general. But I'm hoping with the dual blades, it isn't one of those things where you're using like I think it was the piercing slash, the one that duplicates your damage, or some of the other moves that kept you a lot more like grounded than some of the other stuff that you use with the dual blades. I hope it is a bit more like you get to utilize this one a lot more because it is there.
I got some stuff to say about this one. All right. So first of all, I'm not gonna exaggerate my excitement for it, because we did actually already see this. We didn't get the description and everything, but this was in a gameplay trailer that was out somewhat recently, like a couple weeks ago. So we got a little preview of it then, which I was very excited when I first saw it, because it's basically the Attack on Titan Levi like spinning slash attack, you know, going for the nape of the Titan. Really like visually really cool. But I played a ton of Dual Blade in Rise. I made like a different elemental set for every single element. I loved it. And of course, the aerial Dual Blade style in base Rise was, in my opinion, the most fun way to play Dual Blades. And this is literally just giving you another aerial option. It even specifically lets us know that we can perform this midair. So I am super happy that we have like even more aerial possibilities as a Dual Blade user. So yeah, I'm really excited to try it out, and we obviously know Dual Blades do excellent with the multi-hitting of elemental damage or even status. This thing's obviously going to tick massively, like loads of times, every time you're spinning, so it just seems like a really good skill that synergizes with what the Dual Blades does.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be interested to see how easy it is to perform, because obviously it does shoot upwards a little bit. So I feel like while people are getting used to it, I can see quite a lot of like dual blade users just flying over the monster and like overshooting for a little bit and be like, oh no, whoopsie. But I think once you get the kind of position down, like it could be I think it's especially gonna be quite nice because the dual blades naturally have like shorter range. So obviously you have the aerial capabilities, like you said, in like base Rise, but having more things to just be like, oh, I can't quite reach the head, but now I can. So yeah, could definitely be quite cool. However, the other one I want to talk about, I want to see what you guys think of this one. So you got the slide slash combo, right? I like the description, obviously, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, but they said this technique allows you to attack whilst evading, and if you work it into your combos, you can unleash a relentless attack that's difficult to defend against. Now, you obviously know Dual Blades already kind of had that anyway, because you had Feral Demon mode, which, once activated, did attack whilst you evaded. The difference being, this is a combo that does not require being in Demon mode. So it's useful in that, of course, you know, Dual Blades is fast, you can dash, you can evade, things are quite nice, so obviously you get the benefit, but it's also quite interesting that it is very similar, if not the same behaviour as Feral Demon Mode, so like, I don't know what you guys think on that one?
I'm with you there.
I think it doesn't necessarily like make sense to us now, just like the Charge Blade like guard move that we just spoke about recently, but we'll have to definitely get our hands on it and see like how it fits into the kit. But having options for dodging, where on the Dual Blades a lot of your damage comes from like just repositioning and getting into the right position quite quickly, is definitely a bonus. But I'm not necessarily saying this is one to write home about. What I'm more interested in is like how quickly you can switch, because one of the things that they showed in the trailer is that you can actually switch between like your feral and your demon mode like quite quickly using the switch kit skills now, so that's going to be an interesting component of like how that works out, if you can get like the bonus damage and then switch to the dodge one if you're just like trying to play a bit more defensively. So hopefully that factors into it, and we can come up with a nice kit that works for taking down those monsters quite quickly.
You hit the nail on the head there. Like the fact that you can switch between normal demon and feral gives that situational like capability to the Dual Blades to either be quick or do more damage. I mean, because normally you would just sit in feral demon mode like all the time. You would never use the other one if you were really doing a hunt seriously, because the damage bonus was just too good to not use feral demon mode. But it's nice now that we'll be able to use both and utilize the mobility, which to be honest Dual Blades already has quite a lot of. And also the switch skill swaps also an evade while you're using it, right? So I guess if you're in a really tricky scenario, you could switch skill swap to evade and then go into normal demon mode and then just dash out of there, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I think the main thing is sort of, if you're going to think about it, probably the reason they've implemented this is because it just like allows you to maximize damage uptime, because obviously if you have feral demon mode, you get the attacks while dodging all whilst you're in it, but obviously demon mode is stamina dependent, and then once you are in arc demon mode out and when it's on cooldown, obviously you still have the dashes anyway. So I guess the idea behind using this is that you have the slide slash combo for when you're not in demon mode, and then of course you have the feral demon mode for say when you are in it. So I guess that could basically mean that to a degree, if used correctly, you could have permanent uptime on like attacking evades, which could mean that you just have like more damage potential. So maybe could be a thing.
It's always fun going around with the Dual Blades and evade extender anyway, like, and all the evade abilities, so yeah.
Yeah, 100%. But what about the Light Bowgun? So Light Bowgun, interesting one here. Obviously, there's two things. There's one of them which, you know, is very exciting. The other one is potentially situational. So let's start with that one. Of course, we have the Silkbind Wyvern counter, which is, I mean, the animation for this is kind of cool. Obviously, it's just a way to get out. It's described as an urgent retreat that fires a shot with massive recoil and use a Wybug to stop. So it's said that it's not a powerful attack. So this is not like a thing you use for damage, but they said that the true value comes in the ability to evade incoming attacks, and if timed correctly, you can retreat with an explosive exit that can neutralize breath attacks. And obviously when you see the movement, it does fire out a small bullet. It's obviously not a high damage bullet, but you do see them do that and sort of use it to flinch the Blood Orange Bishaten. But the main thing is this is just like a means to get out, which is always useful. I mean, evasive things just like, oh crap, I'm about to be destroyed, getting out is useful. However, I do also kind of question it because Light Bowguns a pretty fast weapon anyway. It's quite easy just to dodge, slide, move around. You've got a lot of repositioning things. So I feel like, you know, it makes sense for something like Heavy Bowgun or a weapon that like has slow movements where you are going to get caught up in those things. I don't necessarily feel like if I was doing Silkbind skills for these weapons, I would have thought, oh yeah, Light Bowgun needs a way to get out of things quickly. But it's an option.
Hold on a minute. Every weapon needs a way to get out of things quickly. Every weapon needs it. This is great. This is just more mobility. It's a counter. You can just this is just going to make your life easier as a Light Bowgun user. And when we talk about the other switch skill, this is the perfect pairing for that other new switch skill. So I think this is fantastic. I love counters.
Yeah, I think it's really good because not only is it like, sometimes when you're playing with a Light Bowgun, there's a lot of skills that you kind of like utilize to reload or use your evade to reload and stuff like that. This is definitely going to be one where you're dodging out the way, getting closer, and you just want to get out there as quickly as possible. And in our tier list video, we actually discussed like the Light Bowgun having a counter, so I feel like I kind of asked for this, so I can't really complain once they've actually given it to me. So
yeah,
I'm excited to utilize it. I feel like there are times where you definitely do get caught out of position when using Light Bowgun.
Fair enough. So. Maybe I was mistaken. I just thought to myself, I was like, hey, it's a swift weapon. Like, I'm already pretty mobile. But then again, as you said, like, I think the main thing is they probably did it purely to synergize with the other move, which actually makes sense because the other switch skill is critical firepower, which is kind of nice because Light Bowgun has some great damage potential, but typically, you know, heavy bowgun's seen as like the meaty weapon, Light Bowgun's seen more for like the statusy thing. So obviously now you have a means to just like beef up your damage because this is a special shooting style that further raises damage output but narrows critical distance and increases recoil. So effectively, this just forces you to be closer to the monster, but you could do more damage. And they show it in the training room, and the damage boost was quite substantial, to be fair.
So it was like 50%, right? Because it went up from like around 70 to like 100 and like over 113 or something. So it's around like, I don't know, 40 to 30 or whatever.
I think 30 to 40 is about where it was. It was 80 to like 111 or something like that. But I don't, you know, was it the same ammo type that was used? I'm assuming it was, but you know, until I get my hands on it, I'm not going to do the math on the percentage because, you know, there's a room for error there. Is it the same arrow? The critical distance is obviously different because of the switch skill.
Are they trying to make
if it does
like
give you that kind of damage, that's awesome though. Like that's a really good buff. You're going to always use this if it is that much of a damage increase.
Yeah, are they trying to like make it look better than it is? Is that what you're trying to say in the trailer? Like switching ammo, like they went up to tier 3.
I don't know. I've done so much training room testing. Sometimes you press the wrong button, you shoot the wrong ammo, all your data gets skewed. I don't know. I wanna try it in the training room, you know.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's unfair to some weapons that some weapons just got like a straight like damage buff like silk-buying skill, when other weapons are like left out there in the lurch. Like shout out to the Lance boys. I love you guys. I love the Lance. I think you're a distinguished gentleman for using that, but you did get like kind of shafted in this one. So
also,
obviously all of these weapons that we talk about in terms of balancing, everyone's having these crazy reactions to them, but we don't even know if like the motion values have changed or anything to do with the weapon. So if we get in the game and the longsword's hitting for like 1 damage on that counter, it really does not matter because I'm sure Capcom's eyes are on like the longsword and it being overperforming, and some of the times they do change that stuff if they're overperforming. Not all the time, but some of the times there's been stuff that's overperforming and they're like, no, get it out of here. But we'll have to see how that all goes.
That is a massive point. You know, you can have the coolest, most insane sounding switch skills like out of all the weapons, but if they've been decided to nerf all of your motion values on your base damage, which you're not going to know till you play the game, then you're going to be still on par with everything else potentially. So
yeah,
true. Also, completely unrelated to the weapons, but we got our first little look of the training room in this footage. I was kind of hoping, I mean, I know they didn't do it when it was like World to Iceborne, we used the same training room, but they added a few new things in there. I was kind of hoping we might have had like an Elgato themed training room. I mean, I like that training room, but unless they're keeping it hidden and they were just showing the old one to try and sort of keep it a surprise. But I was thinking maybe they might have had like a little
you're so excited for that
like
training
nautical
room.
flair, you know. I want maybe they replace like Mecha Titranodon with like a Titranodon in a boat or something. You know,
yeah. No, you know what? I'm with you. I want new training room. We spent too long in that training room. We need some new scenery.
Over half my playtime is spent in that training room, guys. So I'm But anyway, yeah, super cool looking stuff. But those are the weapons for the time being. We are, of course, going to do another video soon to talk about all of them holistically. So do stay tuned for that. But for the time being, before you guys wrap up, if you guys are looking to pick up some new sort of cool tech for your setup, some stuff that you can use to record videos or just improve stuff in general, keyboards, mice, headsets, fantastic quality audio, make sure you click the link in the description box down below. Shout out to HyperX, they are one of our sponsors, and you can get some spicy new gear for your gaming setup. But otherwise, that's it for the time being, so keep it locked to the channel for plenty more Sunbreak stuff. If you guys have missed one of our recent videos, you can check out one of these ones linked on screen. Otherwise, catch you in the next one.